In Mark 12:43, Jesus comes to the temple with the purpose of teaching us a lesson about giving. He deliberately sits in front of the offering and watches as people put their money in. Many rich people come and put in large amounts of money, but Jesus wasn't looking at the amount, he was looking at their hearts. Finally, after all the rich people had showed off their tithes, a poor widow comes in and puts in 2 small coins worth only a few pennies. But this is what Jesus had been waiting for, and he doesn't waste a moment. He quickly calls his disciples together to teach them about the kind of giving that pleases God. He explains how giving out of your abundance isn't what God is interested in, because it doesn't help you rely on him. This is what the rich people were doing, but the widow was different, and the difference was in what she was trusting in. The widow trusted God, knowing that he would stand true to his promise of providing for her needs, while the rich people trusted in their money. Jesus' point was that giving isn't about the amount, it's about the sacrifice. What and how we sacrifice will be different for each person, but we all have the ability to make sacrifices in our giving. The danger comes when we follow the path of the first group of givers. We give to look good, or we give out of a perceived obligation, or we give as a means to some other end. But God isn't interested in this kind of giving. The only giving that interests God is the kind that makes him a priority above our money. This is why what we use our money for is such a big indicator of where our hearts are at. When we sacrifice something we want and give instead to God, we show that he has the top spot in our hearts. The poor widow trusted God and gave everything she had to him. And this is why Jesus makes a point to highlight her sacrificial giving, because as we follow her example, she leads us right to Jesus.